Yamato met them as they walked back into the mansion.
あ、斉藤君、雪村君、どこに行ってたんですか?
He wasn't sure how they would respond, but Saito spoke up before she had a chance to open her mouth.
彼女がどうしても外せない用があるというので出かけてきた。それより仲が騒がしいようだが、何かあったのか?
これから合議が始まるそうなので、幹部は集まってくださいとのことです。
そうか、わかった。
By the time they reached the main hall, Kondo and Hijikata were already there, surrounded by the rest of the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Kondo was grinning, clearly pleased about something.
よし、これで全員揃ったな。それでは合議を始めるぞ。さて、新政府軍との戦についてだが、我々の次の戦場は甲府だ。甲府城で敵を迎え撃つこととなった。土方君、説明してくれ。
俺たちが甲府に出向く目的は、新政府軍に対する慶喜公の恭順の意思を伝え、新政府軍に立てつく連中から甲府を守るってことになってる。表向きはな。
He turned to look at Kondo expectantly.
だが真の目的は甲府城にて敵を迎え撃つことにある。もし今回の任務が成功したら、我々に甲府城を下さるそうだぞ。ここは気合を入れて臨まねばな。そうそう、今日は他にも諸君らに伝えなければならないことがある。
He crossed his arms and grinned out at the rest of the room. Clearly, he was waiting for someone in the room to ask him what he had to tell them. She'd seen him do it before, but it was still rather childish.
なんだよ。言いてえことがあるんなら、じらさないでさっさと言ってくれよな。
長倉君はせっかちだな。そんな調子では城勤めなど到底できんぞ。
He laughed, then cleared his throat and looked out across the room with a stern gaze.
なんと今回の任務にあたって俺は若年寄格という身分をいただけることになった。若年寄といえば大名だぞ、大名。さらには大久保剛という新しい名前まで頂戴してきた。どうだ、勇ましいだろう。
There was no mistaking the meaning behind the huge grin that split Kondo's face as he talked. But the captains, Nagakura especially, didn't seem particularly happy. He looked as if he'd just tasted something bitter.
というわけで早急に甲府行きの準備を進めてもらいたい。我々が幕府の方々にどう評価されるかは諸君らの働きにかかっているからな。期待しているぞ。それでは本日は解散。
With one last grin to all of them, Kondo turned and practically skipped out of the room.
あの人はもともと小さな道場の道場主だったからな。働きが認められ大名に取り立てられたとなれば浮かれもするだろう。
Saito looked silently down at the ground.
俺には城勤めなどできん。できるのは人を切ることだけだ。
His eyes were pitch black. She realized then that she didn't know why Saito had joined the Shinsengumi in the first place. She'd known him for so long, but she knew very little about him. Unfortunately, she was certain that if she asked him, he'd refuse to tell her anything.
やれやれ。近藤さんは一体何を勘違いしてやがるんだ。俺はあの人の家来になったつもりはねえぜ。大名だかなんだか知らねえが、舞い上がるのを大概にしてくれってんだ。
3、40年前ならいざ知らず、今の幕府にもらった身分じゃな。
Nagakura and Harada continued to grumble as Saito watched silently. A war was about to begin, but it didn't seem like the Shinsengumi was ready. It was the end of February. The Shinsengumi changed its name to Koyu Regulatory Company and left for Edo for Kofu. Saran and Heisuke were ordered to remain behind. She'd assumed she'd be left in Edo as well, but for some reason, Hijikata ordered her to accompany the Kyoto Regulatory Company to Kofu. She departed with Saito, and in many ways, it seemed as if nothing much had changed. Well, there was one change.
いやー、しかしまさかこの俺が様相で戦うことになるとは思わなかったぜ。長生きはしてみるもんだな。
ま、土方さんは新しいもの好きだからな。銃を持った奴らとの戦闘にはこっちの方が都合がいいってことだろ。
着るのには苦労したけどな。特にこのボタンってやつの使い道が最初さっぱりわからなくて。
Along with the change in name, Hijikata had ordered everyone to begin wearing Western clothes. From what she could tell, it felt quite a bit different from the clothes they were used to, and most of the men seemed a little uncomfortable. She glanced over at Saito. Saito was as new to the clothes as everyone else, but they seemed to suit him. Wait. Saito looked silently down at his buttons and examined them for a moment. There wasn't really a graceful way to admit that one had dressed oneself improperly. Nagakura's voice was bitter.
あの人ならまだ追いついてきてねえぜ。多分、日野のあたりで新入り大使と宴会でもしてるんじゃねえの。たく、何考えてるんだろうな。あの人、今回の甲府行きを旅行か何かと勘違いしてるんじゃねえのか。
そう言ってやるなって。久しぶりに女房子供にも会いてえだろうし、故郷に錦も飾りてえだろうよ。
俺は別に 宴会そのものに文句つけてるわけじゃねえよ。時と場合を考えてくれって言ってるんだ。
There was some awkward shuffling and mumbling from the troops. She glanced over at Saito as discreetly as she could manage, to try and gauge what he thought of Nagakura's outburst. He said nothing, of course, but his brow was furrowed, and it seemed clear that he was deep in thought. And she was about to ask him when Hijikata spoke.
大丈夫か？そろそろバテ始めてるんじゃねえか？悪いな。いきなり俺たちに同行させることになっちまって。
She paused a moment, then decided she might as well ask. He'd started the conversation after all. Hijikata's mouth thinned. He stroked his jaw for a few moments, thinking, before he replied.
俺もできれば江戸で留守番させてやりたかったんだがな。今のお前を一人で屯所に置いておくのは危険すぎる。戦場まで連れてきた方がかえって被害が少ねえ。
She didn't understand what he meant. Why would the Shinsengumi headquarters be dangerous?
三男さんのことですか？
さすが察しがいいな。その通りだ。最近あの人の様子がどうもおかしい。正気をなくしちまってるっていうか、羅刹の本性がむき出しになっちまってるっていうか。
She didn't want to say anything, but she'd noticed Sanan acting strange as well.
お前を屯所に置き去りにしといて、取り返しのつかねえ事態になっちまっても困るからな。いろいろ面倒事は多いが、一緒についてきてもらうことにした。すまねえな、付き合わせちまって。
She suspected there might be more to it than that, but Hijikata seemed to have a lot on his mind, and now probably wasn't the best time to press for more detailed answers.
副長、一つお知らせしたいことが。
なんだ、斉藤。
新八と佐野が今回の甲府での戦について多大な疑問を抱いている様子です。特に近藤局長の行動について。
Hijikata's smile was somewhat bitter.
疑問っていうより不満だろう。そりゃ俺も気づいてたよ。これから戦争だってのに、局長が飲み屋に入り浸って酒かっくらってたんじゃ、あいつらが腹を立てるのも当たり前だよな。ただこのご時世、普通に募集をかけたところで大使なんて集まってこねえ。酒やら給金を目の前にちらつかせて関心を買わねえとな。
She didn't know much about how to run an army or gather warriors, but how could they expect men who'd been bribed to help fight for good? Just like the rest of the men in the Shinsengumi.
率直にお聞きします。副長は今回の戦、勝てるとお思いですか？
Another bitter smile.
お前はほんと聞いてほしくねえことばかり聞いてくれるよな。ま、鳥羽伏見での巻き戦やら薩長の連中の士気や連度の高さを見てると難しいだろうな。今回の戦にあたって幕府のお偉いさんから武器や大砲を預かってきたが、欧州から新型の武器を山ほど買い入れてやがる薩長の連中にはどうしたって歯が立たねえ。お偉いさん方はずっと江戸に詰めっぱなしだから、奴らの強さなんて想像もできてねえのかもしれねえな。あるいは気づいてるけど認めたくねえだけか。他に 意図があるのか。
では今回は負け戦になると。
もちろんそうならねえよう努力はするさ。近藤さんにはなるべく負け戦なんて経験してほしくねえ。とはいえ人も武器も何もかもがないない尽くしの戦争だからな。
Hijikata looked up at the sky for a moment, his eyes empty, before he turned toward them.
こんな話を新八や佐之助に聞かせるわけにはいかねえだろ。負けるってのは分かりきってんのに死ぬ気で戦ってくれなんてさすがに言えねえよ、俺でも。
He gave a dry, humorless laugh. Never before had she seen Hijikata so completely devoid of confidence. They were expected to fight and win, even when victory was impossible. Saito nodded
お
quietly.
気持ちお察しします。相変わらず憎まれ役がお上手で。
ま、それが俺の仕事だからな。
She had trouble sleeping that night. Her mind kept running over what Hijikata had said. After a good amount of tossing and turning, she noticed that Saito had quietly gotten out of bed and snuck out of camp. Was there something wrong? Perhaps he just had some business to attend to, and it would be best for her to leave her alone. Him alone. After several minutes of thought, she decided that was not the case, and that she should at least try to see what he was up to. It didn't take long for her to find him. He had moved far enough away from the camp that he wouldn't be seen, and then stopped to stare at the sky. The stars hung there, so large and bright that it felt as if their weight might pull them from the sky to come raining down onto the earth. His face was as expressionless as ever, but somehow he looked sad. Caught up in the scene before her, she had forgotten stealth, and her hand brushed against a nearby bush, rustling its leaves.
そこにいるのは誰だ。
His voice was like steel.
10を数える間に姿を現せ。さもなくば切る。
He thought she was an enemy soldier. She ran out from her hiding spot, and Saito's eyebrows shot up. Then he frowned.
何故一人で陣を出てきた。この間のことを何も反省していないようだな。
He looked down at her, his face flat and unreadable. She braced herself for another lecture, but instead, he fell silent and turned back to the night sky. He didn't answer. His eyes narrowed, almost as if the light from the stars was too bright for him to look at. She felt sure his heart was full of feelings that he couldn't put words to, and he was struggling to sort them out with himself, to say nothing of her. It felt wrong to interrupt his calm, but there was something on her mind that she had to ask.
"どうとは?" そうだろうな。
Her eyes widened.
我々の持つ武器はあくまでも旧式のもの。新型の兵器を駆使する薩長の部隊には到底歯が立たない。しかも今回共に戦う新入りの大使たちはどれも銃などまともに扱えぬ輩ばかりだ。人を殺めたことのある者が 何の咎めもなしに市中を往来していると思うか。道場で市内を振り回すのがうまくても実戦では何の役にも立たん。大切なのは人を切ることができるかどうかだ。
He was right. No number of inexperienced soldiers could make up for even a few hardened veterans. Her heart sank, just as it had when Hijikata had told them that he didn't think they could win. She didn't know if there was much point in asking him. Saito had seen battle many times, and each one could have meant his death. Though she could scarcely understand why, the look on his face suggested that he feared neither the upcoming battle nor death.
死ぬこと自体は怖くはない。
His tone was as indifferent as ever.
ただ、信じているものを見失うのは恐ろしい。
He was silent for a few moments before he turned to look at her.
武士の別の呼び名を知っているか。
He shook his head.
左差し。武士が刀を刺すのは左の腰だからな。刀を刺した侍はどんな狭い道でも左端を歩く。武士の魂たる刀を他人に触れさせたくはないからな。
Saito's sword was hanging from his right hip, just as it always did. She'd never thought about it before, but Saito was the only person she knew who carried his sword on the right side, and drew with his left hand.
俺は生まれつき左利きだ。そのせいでどの道場に行っても免状や切り紙など受け取ったことはない。竹刀を握った瞬間、まず部長法物と持ち方を正される。その繰り返しだった。だがそんなことを言った連中で俺に勝った者はただの一人もいない。師範代、目録、大層な肩書きを持った者でも打ち合えば無名の俺に負ける。では本物の強さとは一体何だ。昔の俺はそんなことばかり考えていた。
His voice had changed. She could hear emotion in it now, something he rarely let show. Saito fell silent again. He pulled his sword from its scabbard and watched it shine in the moonlight.
簡単なことだ。真剣で切り合って勝った方が強い。単純にして明快な答えだ。260年続いた太平の世で侍同士が切り合いをすることなどめったになくなってしまったが、それでも侍というのは刀を振るうのが本分だったはずだ。俺はそう考えていた。
Saito's eyes reflected in the blade of his sword were like twin pools of solid night. She felt a chill run down her back.
だがそう思っていたのは俺だけだったようだ。新選組ができる前、ある旗本の指定に果たし合いを申し込まれ、その相手を切り殺したことがある。
Anyone connected to the Hatamoto would be awfully important. If he'd killed someone like that...
俺が果たし合いに勝ち、その相手は負けた。だが勝ったはずの俺は罪に問われ、脱藩を余儀なくされた。武士というのはもともと人を切るのが仕事だったはずなのに、実際に切ると罪人と呼ばれる。こんな矛盾した話があるか。その頃の俺はそう考えていた。
To Saito, the word warrior had a great deal of meaning, but he had struggled to find other men who shared his belief. He had amazing command of a rare and powerful technique, and yet everyone he met refused to recognize his strength. All the rejections had forced him to question just what his most closely held beliefs meant. What was true strength? What did it mean to be a warrior? She felt she was beginning to understand him.
脱藩し、京に逃げてきてから、俺はようやく己の剣を生かす道を見出した。新選組の人間は勝つために、目の前の相手を殺して、己が生き残るために刀を振る。それは俺の思い描く武士の姿とよく似ていた。初めて話の通じる相手に巡り合ったと思った。
That was why the Shinsengumi meant so much to him.
新選組で一番人を切っているのは、おそらく俺か宗司のどちらかだろう。だがどれだけ多くの人間を切り殺しても、薄気味悪がられ、恨まれこそすれ、感謝されることは絶対にない。俺が今まで研ぎ続けてきた爪は、シャバでは何の役にも立たない。それは自分でもよくわかっている。
He turned the sword over and over in his hands, his eyes fixed on the blade. The blade was thinner than the swords most other warriors carried. Saito's sword had been more used than theirs, and he sharpened it ceaselessly. Eventually, the blade would become too thin to use, and he would be forced to buy a new one. How many had he gone through? She wondered.
この爪だけが俺が勝ち続けてきた証なのだ。切り合いでは誰にも負けぬはずの血生臭い剣技だけが。
She understood then why Saito had drunk the water of life. To protect her, yes, but there was much more to it. To him, loss would have meant more than just his death. It would have meant the skill he'd worked so hard to develop and the respect he'd fought so hard to earn would mean nothing. How could they, if that skill failed them?
しかし時代は変わった。刀を振るよりも、妖獣の方が多くの人間を殺すことができる。武士が刀を持つ意味も、俺が爪を研ぎ続ける意味もなくなりつつある。
He pursed his lips and slid his blade back into its scabbard. To Saito, his sword was proof that he was alive, and that his life carried some meaning. But there was a new era on the horizon, where a man's skill with a sword would matter little. That was what he feared, more than becoming a fury, more than death itself. He was afraid that his life as a warrior was coming to an end. Understandably, that seemed to be making him uneasy. What could she say? Try to push him towards evolution, or... I mean, he's right. His core beliefs are being shaken. I'm curious to see what Chizuru has to say about this. Shigal. He turned silently to look at her. For several long moments, Saito said nothing. Then at last he shook his head.
だが源さんは
His voice was barely audible, and he let his words trail off into the silent night air.
いや何でもない
There was a cold edge to his voice, more so than usual. Perhaps our words hadn't reached him.
そろそろ夜が明けるな陣中に戻るか
The insects chirped and hummed from the trees as they made their way back to camp. They were nearly there when